You know, somebody really has to get a female superhero going. We haven't had a good one since Xena the Warrior Princess.
Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about the many incarnations of Supergirl in film and television.
And as usual, let's start with the comic books because that's where it all began. Supergirl made her first comic book appearance in Action Comics number 252 in May 1959. And that was way before I was born, so I never read that issue. But Supergirl's first media appearance was actually in 1984 in Supergirl. That's right, Supergirl had her own movie starring Helen Slater as the title character. This was actually a spin-off of the Christopher Reeve Superman films. The only character from the Christopher Reeve films to actually appear in this movie was Mark McClure as Jimmy Olsen. As for the movie itself, it was really bad. But actually, the Phantom Zone was actually a little bit of inspiration for the Phantom Zone in Smallville. So the desert wasteland type of Phantom Zone. So there's a little bit of that for you. In 1998, Supergirl appeared in the second season of Superman the Animated Series, the first episode being Little Girl Lost, where she would later go on to be in Justice League Unlimited. In 2007, Kara would be later introduced in Smallville's 7th season, portrayed by Laura Vandervoort, and might I add, she is probably the hottest Supergirl. Yeah, I'm sorry for going there, guys. I'm a guy, what can you expect? Unfortunately, after Season 7, she wasn't a regular anymore. Season 7 was actually her one and only time being a regular on the show, but she would later return in Season 8's Bloodlines, and then she would return for 2 more episodes in Season 10. In the beginning of the season, she would be finally named Supergirl, and then she would return towards the end of the season, Prophecy, which was the episode literally right before the finale, and she basically went to the future because Zor-El told her that she would, Clark needs to be the first superhero on Earth, and which kind of didn't make sense since she already announced her appearance in Metropolis, so people already knew of this Supergirl. She even had the costume and everything. She didn't have the S-Crest, but whatever. We let it slide because it is supposed to be Clark's show in becoming Superman, but what can you do? Helen Slater would also guest star as Clark's biological mother, Laura, alongside Laura Vandervoort in 2 episodes of Season 7. And yes, they had some pretty cool interaction. And just like Christopher Reeve being on Smallville was kind of a passing of the torch between Supermans, this was kind of their passing of the torch between Supergirls, which was a really nice, sweet episode. In 2010, Supergirl appears in the direct-to-DVD feature Superman Batman Apocalypse, where she's voiced by Summer Glau. And in this movie, she's it's her reintroduction to the animated universe. This was actually based off the comic by the same name. And yeah, Supergirl is even captured by Darkseid, and we see a darker side of Supergirl, where she's changed by Darkseid to go against Superman. So there's even a little fight between them, but then they team up at the end to fight Darkseid, which is actually a really cool action sequence. In 2013, Supergirl's next animated appearance with Superman was in Superman Unbound, which also featured Brainiac as the villain. And it also revealed the lost city of Kandor, where Kara's parents have been living and hiding in because Krypton was destroyed. Also in 2013, even though Kara, Supergirl, wasn't in Man of Steel, there was a tie-in comic that actually helped show that Kara does exist in the universe. Now, we don't know if she'll ever appear in the movies, but if that never happens, this tie-in comic actually featured a character named Kara Zor-El, where she arrived on Earth thousands of years before Clark Kent. Now, whether she's still alive on Earth or not, the comic never says, but that pod that you see in Man of Steel when he's in the Fortress of Solitude, that was actually the pod that Kara was in when she arrived on Earth. So there's a little Easter egg for you guys if you didn't know that already. In 2015, Supergirl finally gets her own standalone TV series from Greg Berlanti, the producer of Arrow and The Flash, where she's now portrayed by Melissa Benoist. And I haven't seen this series yet, so I can't really comment on it, but stay tuned next week because I will have a review. So yeah, this video is kind of like a little plug-in to next week. Also, former Supergirl actress Helen Slater, who also guest starred on Smallville, is going to be on this show as well, playing Supergirl's foster mother, while Dean Cain, who played Superman in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, will play Supergirl's foster father. So there you have it, guys. There are all the Supergirls that you need to know about. If you ever want to go back and watch some of these other incarnations, there are a lot of versions of Supergirl that are out there, even though there's more of Superman because he's the title character. But sometimes it's good to support the female characters too, because sometimes they could just be as interesting as the male ones. And Supergirl is definitely one of those cool ones that I think have been done right here and there. I really like the animated version from Superman, the animated series in Justice League, and I really like the Smallville version too, and I'm hoping this one will kind of capture a lot of those characteristics from the good portrayals of Supergirl. And that's not to knock out Helen Slater too, because despite her not being in a great movie, she was a really good choice to play Supergirl, and just like Christopher Reeve, she brought it all. And that's why a lot of these new producers, like from Smallville and from this new Supergirl series, that's why they're bringing her back, because they know she's the Supergirl that, you know, a lot of people might have in their heads. Even though the movie bombed badly, it has created a cult following. And, you know, Supergirl is Superman's cousin, and just like there's no Batman without a Robin, there's no Superman without a Supergirl. And hopefully one day she will make her a better appearance in film. Who knows? But until then, guys, we have all these other Supergirl interpretations to look at, and let's enjoy it for what it is. And until next time, guys, take care.